Hi, today we are in the outskirts of Kathmandu in what is probably one of the most popular lakes of the Kathmandu Valley. Taudaha Lake has always been a place where families come to have a walk with their kids. When I came in, I just saw a school of Buddhist monks, which was really cute. There's couples coming on romantic walks, and there's lots and lots of little restaurants here as well where you can have amazing pani puri and chia. But what you didn't know is that this lake is super dangerous, and it's not what you think. To explain why this lake is so dangerous, we actually have to go back to a time when the gods still roamed the earth. It was believed that the Kathmandu Valley, as we know it today, it was actually one big, large lake. You know, it was a lake from Chobar all the way to Budalikanta. It was Budalikanta. You know, it was a lake from Chobar all the way to Budalikanta. Oh my god, you have no idea how long I had to redo that because I couldn't. It's a tongue twister, guys. Budalikanta. Budalikanta. From Chandragiri all the way to, I don't know, Banipai. Like, yeah, I don't know. But it was a big, massive lake. And because the lake was so big, Manjushri, who is a Buddhist mythological character, decided to drain the lake so that all the people could live in the Kathmandu Valley. And what he did was he made a big gorge in the Chobar Hill. He basically split the Chobar Hill in two. And in the wake of all that water leaving the Kathmandu Valley, we can actually now see the Bagmati River. Life in Kathmandu, guys. And in the wake of all that water leaving the Kathmandu Valley, you can actually see the Bagmati River, which is like the most important river in Kathmandu and maybe even in Nepal. You can see that river leave the Kathmandu Valley through the Chobar Gorge. Now, although people had, very fertile land to live and grow their crops thanks to Manjushri, not everyone was happy with this. Because Manjushri draining the lake actually meant that the Nagas, and the Nagas are like a mythological snake creature, half snake, half human, very powerful, they had no place to live because they lived in the lake. Now, because Nagas are very powerful and they're also very close connected to rain and monsoon, which is very needed if you're a farmer, Manjushri tried to keep the peace. The Naga king Karkotak was incredibly angry that his whole house had disappeared with Manjushri splitting the Chobar Hill in half. So the local people of Taudaha decided to, in the lake here, which is a lake that was formed by all the water leaving the Kathmandu Valley, decided to build a large gold bejeweled palace right here in the lake for the Naga king. And ever since, Karkotak the Naga king and his wife have been residing here in the lake of Taudaha. Even today, even though Taudaha Lake is beautiful and there's lots and lots of large big fish in there, the local people do not fish or swim in the lake because the lake is the domain of Karkotak, Nagaraj, or the king of the Nagas. And every year during Naga Panchami, and Naga Panchami is a big festival where people thank the snakes for safety, for the rain, and they put little cards on their houses above their door. So if you come to Nepal and you see people having little drawings above their door, that's because of Naga Panchami. Then you put the little drawing, you buy it on the street, and you put it above your door. Now, during Naga Panchami, there's a big fair here in Taudaha where people come to worship not only the Nagas, the snakes, but also thank Karkotak, Nagaraj, the Naga king. That being said, I wouldn't swim in here because there's a lot of water snakes that live in this lake, so there must be something about snakes. But yeah, you can, if you stay still or you go to a calmer part of the lake, you will probably see a water snake. Now, because there's so many jewels and precious stones in the palace, the lake is also considered to have healing powers. Now, on part of the lake, there's actually a little basin where if you want, you can just get some water from the lake, and people, both Buddhists and Hindus, they bathe in the lake because the lake is said to cure some ailments, to make sick people better, and to just give you good luck as well. Just don't go in the lake itself. There's like a little basin. Taudaha Lake is also very closely connected to Ratu Manchendrahat, and he is someone who has a big temple in Bungamati, and Bungamati is a beautiful village just outside of Kathmandu. Now, one day before the palace was built, Manjushri actually invited Nagraj, Garkotak, to Taudaha, probably because it's so beautiful and the weather was good like today. And the king was complaining because his wife had a sore eye. She was in a lot of pain. Manjushri decided to call for a Japu from Lalitpur. Now, a Japu is like a subclass of Newar people, the people who live in the Kathmandu Valley. But I think that the word Japu here means, it's more a literal translation, which means someone who is good at what he does. So probably instead of calling someone from the Japu class, what Manjushri did was he called for a healer or a doctor. Anyway, the Japu came from Lalitpur to Tadaha Lake. It's about 5 kilometers, give or take. And he helped the queen and cured her eye. Now, Nagraj, he loved his wife very much, and so he decided to give the Japu a bejeweled boto. And a boto here in Nepal is a vest. Now, obviously, the Japu was very happy with his bejeweled vest, and he decided to wear it every single day. But one day it was very hot and he was working in the field, and he didn't want his boto to be full of mud or to tear because he was working in the field. So he decided to take off his boto and put it on a stone. But that was a bad idea, because someone came past and stole the boto. Now, there goes a cow. Now, the Japu actually tried to look for the person. Now, the Japu looked and looked and looked for the person that stole his boto. And when he found that person, they started fighting. And Ratu Machendranath saw the fighting and decided to stop both men fighting over the bejeweled boto. And Ratu Machendranath decided to keep the boto himself, and he said to the two men, "You come with proof that the boto is yours and you get it back." Now, obviously, poor Japu, he didn't know where the Nag king was. He couldn't go to Taudaha and knock on a door here, so he was never able to prove that the boto was his. And up until this day, in the Ratu Machendranath temple, there is the boto. And every single year during Ratu Machendranath Jatra, there is a day where on a big wagon, they actually show the boto to the people of Nepal. Now, if you're interested in visiting Taudaha Lake today and you're not very interested in, legends and stories, you can actually come here for the wildlife as well. Not only is it gorgeous here, we're just right up on the hills near Kathmandu, but also there are 40 to 50 birds, of which some are very, very rare, that nest here or that stay here during parts of the year, including the hoopoe, which I think is an amazing bird. Anyway, I am off to eat some pani puri and drink some chia, and I will see you next week for another interesting video about Nepal history, myths and legends. See you then. Bye!